Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, mercy, blessing of Allah be upon you. Today I'm starting a new series called Greatest Miracles. What I mean by a miracle is something that anyone with a sane mind can acknowledge it as a miracle. I can share it with a 5-year-old and it would be outright clear and pure and to be believed with conviction. And this is the pure truth. Because God clearly has already given us the greatest miracle to guide us to truth. Listen to your heart and natural mind. I'm not talking about fantasies or desires, because obviously everyone can drift to falsehood, but like God says, truth always outshines falsehood. Now the first miracle I'm going to share with you, it's so amazing. I mean, no offense to anyone listening, if after you witness this miracle and it does not affect you, and I mean profoundly affect you, to a point that you'll start to, look back on your life and reevaluate yourself and start to make a change in yourself, because God does not change people until they change themselves. Okay, then if that doesn't happen, then you really need to get professional help. You need to see a doctor. You need to check yourself, see if you've got a pulse, if you're still alive, because the truth is so clear and so pure. And you owe it to yourself to know the reality. And if after you realize the real reality and you still resist, well, that would just reflect on you and no one else. It makes no difference to anyone. We need God. God does not need us. We need His bounty and his mercy and his blessings. He doesn't need us. Just a personal story I have. I was about 19 years old, and as I was walking to the mosque, I met a priest. Okay, and I decided just to tag him along, share Islam with him, find a way to to create a common platform between the two faiths. And I'm just trying to create this environment. And after I took him home, the discussion got a bit heated. As you know, there's fundamental differences between Islam and Christianity. Muslims believe in original forgiveness. God forgave Adam, and Christians believe in mankind are inherently corrupt and they are born with a sin. So there's the original sin. So the fundamental difference is original forgiveness, original sin. Okay, whatever makes sense to you, that's but the point here, the topic got a bit heated, especially because I was using the Bible to show him my evidence and to prove to show him proof from his book. Okay, I wasn't referring to the Quran, I wasn't looking at anything else. I just say, look, here's your book, let's go through the book and let's look at verse by verse, and I'll ask you questions. If you can give me the answer, good, but the answer has to be very clear. You have to give me the evidence, the proof. It has to be very clear, not based on blind faith here. And if you don't know the answer, then allow me to give you the answer, and if the answer makes sense, if it fits in your mind and your heart accepts it, then we will both agree that this could be the truth, because it's 100%. I mean, straight away, without thinking, you accept it naturally. Your body accepts it. It doesn't reject it. It doesn't have any doubt. That means it's the truth. Okay, because truth, like I said, outshines falsehood. But he was getting to this heated rhetoric. You if you don't believe in this and that, then you go to hell, blah blah blah. And I just said, well, let's call it off. David, his name was David, and I decided to say, look, you've got your belief and I've got my belief. Let's just be friends. We shook hands and everything. I gave him a copy of the Quran and I set him a challenge. I set him a challenge. Look, I said to him, listen, just like I have knowledge in the Bible and in other religions, why not just have a read of a couple of pages at random and see for yourself if what Muslims believe in, and come and discuss it with me anytime. But most importantly, I challenge you to come up with answers or evidence that prove otherwise to my argument. And he agreed, and we joked and we walked a bit. I went to the mosque again and he went home. Now, I didn't actually see him for quite. The man just disappeared totally. And 9 months later, I got a very, very big shock. It's something that I never expected. It just never occurred to me it would actually happen. And I was going to the mosque about the same time that I met him 9 months ago. And as I walked into the mosque, I see him in plain clothes. There was people around him, and the first thing he did, as soon as I walked through the door, he was pointing at me, and everyone was looking at me, and he said, "It's him." And I was just about to do, like it wasn't me, and I didn't know what he was accusing me of. I thought he was accusing me of a crime, or I wasn't sure what it was, so I was a bit scared at that point. And just to cut the long story short, alhamdulillah, praise be to God, he accepted Islam, and he was just referring to the people in the mosque and the brothers that that he was I was in the point of contact, whatever. But I just he hugged me, and I just shook him. I just said to him, "Hey, David, why did you become a Muslim? You're the only priest friend I had, and now I have to just go and find a new one." It just happened like that, and it was just a big shock for me. And he said to me very simply that when he went home, he just couldn't sleep. From that very first day, he couldn't sleep, and he wanted to really get back at me and say to me, "Look, this, whatever you believe in, is totally wrong." He was trying to find something that he can just say, "Right, I've got something, it's very clear, and here's the evidence." And he was trying to pull the evidence together so he can come to me with a good case to present and say to him, "Look, this is the flaws, this is the truth here, come to my church," and like this. But the more he tried and tried and tried, he said he got a headache. It was actually affecting him physically, and he started to look in the Quran to find now he couldn't find the evidence or the answers to the verses that I gave him in the Bible. So he started looking in the Quran to find, okay, let's find any errors, let's find any inconsistencies, let's find something. And he found a complete difference. And he said to me, from his own words, he felt like God was talking to him when he's reading the Quran. Now, that's just him. Everyone is to their own opinion. You owe it to yourself. Have a look at the Quran yourself at your own time, and you judge yourself. You see yourself how it would affect you. But we'll leave it at that. We're not here to talk about this right now. What I am going to share with you is one of the greatest miracles, and a miracle that the proof is there, evidence is there. You present it to a 5-year-old, an adult, anyone with a sane mind, and there's enough evidence to say, look, here it is today. Not someone saying to you, look, once upon a time some man did this miracle, he parted the sea, or he done this, and okay, where's the evidence to this? Let me see it. Has it happened? Is there any archaeological evidence? Is there any proof left over to convince us that this event actually happened or not? Now, I gave you a bit of a tip here. Now, here's an interesting verse from the Quran. This day shall I, Allah, when Allah is referring to himself, he's saying, I save thee, the body, that thou mayest be a sign to those who come after thee. And that's in Quran, a chapter called Yunus, which translates to Jonah, and that's chapter 10, in Arabic it's called Surah 10, verse 92. So God is talking about Pharaoh. We'll look at the verses, and he's talking about Pharaoh, and he's saying, look, I'm going to preserve the body of Pharaoh, okay, without mummification. He's going to be there, in his flesh. Nothing's going to happen to him. He's not going to decompose like bodies would, okay, and he's going to be preserved like he is, as he is today, as if he died just a few hours ago, or just a day or two ago, okay, not thousands of years, not 3,000 years ago, and by that time it would have been decomposed totally, okay. So we're looking at that, the miracle of Pharaoh.